Gemara says, Tanya, Rabbi Omer, Kol ha-shiurim kulam bekazait. All the shiurim of the Torah are kazait. Chutz mitumat ochlim. Except for tumat ochlim.
So we threw out Ketobet yesterday.
No, not that. Kol chutz mitumat ochlim. Sheshina katuv b'mashma'an. Because the Torah wrote, he changed the text, so therefore it gets a different way of writing it, and therefore shinu chachamim b'shiuram. Because the writing of the way the Torah expressed itself by tumat ochlim is different, so the chachamim understood that the shiur is different. The proof to that concept is Yom Kippurim, is Yom Kippur. My shina katuv b'mashma'o. Where did the Torah change anything by Yom Kippur? Milot te'uneh. Didn't say asher tochal. It said asher lo te'uneh. That won't afflict itself. Umay shinu chachamim b'shiureha. How did the chachamim change the shiur on Yom Kippur? Kekotevet. So just like on Yom Kippur, because it didn't say don't eat, it said lo te'uneh, and we changed the shiur to be a kekotevet. So too by tumat ochlim, because the Torah changed the language, so we're also going to change the shiur. Rashi, kol ha-shiurim ha'amurim be'ochlim, sheshina katuv, l'kama mefaresh, the Gemara is going to explain. Ra'aya ledava, the proof, the ma she'amarti, shelefi sheshina katuv, b'mashma'an, because the Torah changed the way it's presented, shinu chachamim b'shiuran, yesh ra'aya, there's a proof for Yom Kippurim. Shaf bo shinu chachamim b'shiuran. The chachamim changed the shiur. Mepnei sheshina bo hakatuv b'mashma'o, because the Torah changed its language. It says asher lo te'uneh velo ketiv asher tochal. Doesn't say anyone will eat. It says asher lo te'uneh. So therefore, it's a kakotevet. So too, we'll see the difference by tumat ochlim, and we'll see how we understand it. Says Gemara, "Umay ra'aya ledavar Yom Kippurim." Why do I need Yom Kippur to be a proof? Why can't tumat ochlim stand on its own? Dime hatam. If you can bring from tumat ochlim, hava. I would have said, urcha dekrahu. That's the normal way of the Torah speaking. So therefore, we needed to bring another place. So you should pay attention to this and don't say, "Oh, that's just the way the Torah talks." Look in Rashi, meaning, lama lo laviraya. Why do they have to bring a proof? Why is this one stronger than that one? Oma tema piresh b'yom kippurim b'mishnah lo di'enu she'ata mishum deshina katuvu yotem mishelo pirshu hatem betumanami hazinam. What's so special about Kippur? By Tumah also hazinam we see the shina katuv b'mashma'o v'shina chachamim b'shiuro. So why don't you just prove it from there? So we say imehatam di imehatam mi the shina katuv b'tumah hava amina en sham shinuya katuv. It's not a real difference. The urechul l'mechtav mikol ha'ochel asher ye'achel. It says from all food that will be eaten. That's the diuk asher ye'achel. That's normal. You find that by Noach, the Torah wrote like that, right? Just like kihechi dichtiv gabim mashke v'chol mashke asher yishateh, and you don't have a dirasha over there. Kamash malan. So therefore, we look at Yom Kippurim dahatam v'aday shina katuv. It's a clear change that it says asher lo te'uneh v'shinu chachamim b'shiuran, and the chachamim correspondingly changed the shiur. And more me'ata et shishinu b'tumah. The change in Tumah, Nami Mishum Ta'amad Shina Katuhu. Must be the reason why Tumah also has a different shiur is because the Torah changed it. Asher Ya'achel Shinui Mashma'o Hashiv Lu. They understood that to be a Shinui. Basically, what he's saying is, if not for the fact that you found a similar occurrence by Yom Kippurim, you would have assumed that Asher Ya'achel is not so much of a Shinui. And since it's not so much of a Shinui, that must not be the reason why Ochlim, Tumat Ochlim is B'kabetza. But now that I see by Yom Kippur there's a shinui and it caused the shiur to change, I'm going to assume that that's also the source for the change by Tumat Ochlim. So Gemara says, Tumat ochlim kabetza minalan. How do we know that tumat ochlim is only in the kabetza? Where's the shinui? Amar Rabbi Abu, Amar Rabbi Lazar, Dama Kira, Mikol ha'ochel asher ye'achel. All the food that you could eat. If it's ochel, it's asher ye'achel. What do you have to write asher ye'achel for? So we learn ochel haba mehamat ochel. Food that comes from a food. What's food that comes from a food? An egg.
Again, you're going to say the same thing.
Right?
Over here.
Tarnegols, chicken eggs. What?
Nobody in the world is the same thing.
Milk would be the same thing, yeah.
We're talking about over here.
But there's no shiur for milk.
One guy read the Ketz But today
What's a
that we
shiur?
don't do it. Today that we don't do it.
When I says ve'ema gedi, maybe it's talking about a goat. A goat is food that comes from food.
How's that? You know the egg.
The mother's a food and the baby's a food. Right? Ve'ema gedi, so you'll need to eat. In order to become tameh, you need to have the size of a goat. Mehusa shechita, no, it's not food. You have to slaughter it first. Ve'ema ben peku'ah. Ben peku'ah, you don't have to slaughter. What's a ben peku'ah? You slaughter the mother with the baby inside. So it doesn't need shechita. Ta'on kiriyah, you still have to rip it open. You can't eat it alive. Ve'ema betzat bar yochni. Bar yochni is some gigantic bird. Right? So maybe it's the egg of a bar yochni. All eggs are basically a food that comes from a food. So you can't choose the biggest. I can't choose the biggest. Ve'ema bi'ata tziporta. So maybe it's like a hummingbird egg or one of these tiny birds. And the egg is very small. Why are you choosing a chicken egg? So we don't have an answer. Let's see Rashi. Mehusa shechita. When it comes out of the ochel, shenotzar bo, lav ochel makri. You can't call it a food. Lenyan tuma, lo hu velo imo. Daha mechosre shahida. The mother and the baby. Mashing by the chicken. At least the bird is edible. Ve'ema ben pekuah shenimtza betoch behema shenishchita. You found this baby in a mother that you shechted. The kaimalan shechita timo metaharato. That the mother shechita is metaher. Ta'on kirya needs to be ripped. If nan kor'o, you rip it open and mutzi et damo. So eme betzat de bar yochni of gadol, who it's a big bird, like it says in Bechorot, that one of the eggs shetav'ad betzato shishim kerachim, that when they dropped the egg in the ocean, it made a tidal wave that knocked down 60 cities. Zutar tuva lo garsinan. El hachi garsin. Ema ke be'atad de tziporta. That whole trend stopped over there. So the Gemara says, Rabbi Abudi de Rabbi Abu himself, Omar, he had a different shot. Nikola ochel asher ya'achel, ochel she'ata ochlo bebat ahad. A type of food you can eat in one shot. V'shi'aru chachamim, en bet b'liyama hazik yotem mi betzat tarnegolet. The chachamim estimated that you could swallow in one shot the size of a chicken egg. So that's why kol ha'ochel asher ya'achel, parentheses, one shot. Ruchim ha'ba'im. No, now you got the official mohel status.
What happened there?
Where? Amar Bilazar. Ha'ochel chelev. Bizman hazeh. If somebody eats chelev nowadays, tzarich sheyuftov lo shiur. You have to write how much you ate. And that's a little complicated. You already ate it. I guess you write your best estimate of how much it was. Why? Shema yavo bedin acher v'yarbe b'shiurim. He'll increase the shiur. Now what's going to happen?
But he's after eating me,
He could be. Okay. Which way? You think he's going to be a muhayav? No, what's the case? I ate.
First bedin already told you.
I ate a kazai. So I'm going to write it down because what? Bedin is going to say it's not kazai. Let's see. Ma yarbe b'shiurim. What does it mean the bedin is going to add? Inema de mehayev korban kazait katan. So no, you didn't need a full kazait. You ate like we hold. You need an average size olive. You ate like one of these mini olives. So you ate a mini olive. Write it down. Why? Maybe bedin will come and they'll say that mini olives are hayav. That the shiur is a mini olive. The mehayvi korban kazai katan. V'hatanya, didn't we learn? Asher lo ta'asena ve'ashem mikol mitzvot Hashem.
No, you didn't say bishkaga. You missed a word.
Asher lo ta'asena bishkaga ve'ashem. Asher nasich v'asa ha mikol mitzvot Hashem ulav asher lo ta'asena bishkaga ve'ashem. So we learn asher lo ta'asena hashav midiato. If he would have known it was asur, he wouldn't have done it mevi korban. Al shegigato. Lo shav midiato. If he didn't know in mevi korban al shegigato. So this guy, when he ate this small kazait, he wouldn't have known it was asur, because at the time that he ate it, the Torah said that this is not hayav. So how could you then go be mehayev me when the bedin is mehadesh and they say, oh, what we had was a mistake. But to me, I can't bring a korban, right or wrong. But since I would have eaten it anyway, you can't say that I'm shav midiato. If I would have known that this was the, I didn't know this was the shuf. When I ate it, I would have known that I ate this small kazait. I wouldn't have gone back because at my time that wasn't chayav yet. Look in Rashi. Ha'ochel chelev bizman hazeh mefaresh la ve'azil. What they meant is like this. If somebody eats less than a kazait nowadays, I ate this amount. Maybe the Beit HaMikdash will be rebuilt in his time. There'll be a new betin. Now why is Rashi be Yamav? Maybe you write it down so when Techiyat HaMetim comes, you'll bring the Korban. Why are you laughing? What?
We're going to go back? What would we go back?
I mean go back.
Okay, forward. Backwards?
You served this time already.
Like once the Bedin comes, let's go. We start from then.
You served
go
this
back.
time.
1 second. If a guy today eats halib, Mashiach comes this afternoon, and they build the Beit HaMikdash, you don't think he has to bring a Korban?
No.
But you think it's like
Yes, like a restart.
Restart. Nah.
That's what we're banking on. Hold on, now you're gazing up my whole.
No, we're banking on when Mashiach comes. He's going to start writing checks to everybody. That's
Zua, you better start buying some sheep.
right. So what? That's pashut.
Really?
That's pashut that you have to bring a korban for what you did until now. The question is, the backlog
They
in the
bring one.
base.
They bring one korban for everybody to get what's it called? No.
I love how everybody knows what's going to happen.
No, it's like when Aaron was,
You can learn from Beit Sheni was built, everybody was bringing korbanot. When Beit Sheni was built, everybody was bringing korbanot.
I use himself.
You have to go bring 4,000 korbanot for all the hataot you did. How do you know what you did? You bring one and that's it.
Okay, he's telling you what to do. Every time you eat chilif, write it down. The Gemara says that Rabbi Ishmael, he tilted the lamp and he wrote down, Ani Ishmael chayav lavi hatat shemina. He said so.
So we should keep score also.
Every time you have to know the halachot of shigagot, so you can write down what you did wrong. Problem is we don't have enough room on the bookshelf for all those notebooks with the hataot. Okay, so he says, what are you afraid of? The Bedin is going to come. It was mashma that mitah is mechaper. Yani, you don't have to bring, when it comes to Hiyat HaMetim.
If you would write down every time you did a Haber,
I said
he
the
does a
book's
Haber. No.
Oh, you never
You
do
become
it again.
such a better person.
Never gonna see it.
Shemi Yivnei Beit HaMikdash B'yamav.
But they'll come to admit that you
V'yitchadesh
did something wrong.
Bedin. V'titchadesh halacha. V'yomru. It's like the credit card statement. All those little charges add up.
Right. Think I'm spending
How did
money.
it get to this much money? Oh, there's lattes.
And then you start calculating the bill, maybe it's wrong.
Now the smallest charge is the mini
Millimeter. Shechayav korban al kazayit katan. That's your parking lot, your millimeter. Right? Shechayav korban al kazayit katan. Ulkamam parich im ken yima'ed. Why is it yarbe b'shiurim? Yima'ed b'shiurim. Okay. So Tanya kilomar v'chi ati betinu mehadesh alachaf. Betin comes in mehadesh that a smaller amount is chayav. Mi mehayev is the guy hayav. Hay da'achal kodem shenitchachu alacha. The guy that ate before v'ha'idna. At the time that he did it, lav shav midi'atohu. He wouldn't go back from knowing that what he did is asur. The imnami havi yadad dechelevu. Even if he would have known it's chelev, have achile. He would have eaten it. The ha'ashta kimlan de lo hivat Torah ela kazait aguri shu kazait benoni. Right now, the Gemara in Berachot says you only chayav on a medium size. On a medium size olive. Asher lo te'asenna mashma she'ilu yada. If he would have known, lo asa, he wouldn't have done it. Aval bishkaga asa, he did it bishogeg. So therefore he says, no, the pshat is like this. Ela Dilav mehayev korban ad ika kazai gadol. Maybe when Betin comes, Beit HaMikdash, they're going to be mehadesh. That the size of the kazait is the jumbo olive. You ate an average olive, right? They're going to say no, you're not hayav unless you eat a jumbo size olive. That's all. Look in Rashi. Ela de lo mehayev korban ad ika kazai gadol. Rachi kamar. Ha'ochel kazait benoni. Somebody eats an average olive. Al yichtov mehuyevani hata. Don't just write I'm hayav hata. Ela yichtov kazait benoni achalti. Right, I ate a medium-sized kazait. Shemei yavo betin. Maybe a betin will come. V'yifterenu mi korban. V'nimtza mevi hulin la'azara. Kanene the Gemara knew about the shiur Hazon Ish, that the Hazon Ish was going to come and say you have to eat double. Says Gemara, ulemai tisalika da'atem ikara. What we thought in the beginning that the Gemara is going to say, that the Bedin is going to say hayav on a smaller amount. Temehayev korban kazai katan. Ma yarbe b'shiur. You mean yarbe? Make the shiur bigger. Make the shiur smaller. Shema yarbe be korbanot mehamat shur. It says yarbe means they'll say more people are hayav korban because we shrunk the shiur. Amar Rabbi Yohanan. Rabbi Yohanan says shiurin ve'onashim alacha l'Moshe misinai. The shiurim of how much you have to eat, ve'onashim, and the punishments are halacha l'Moshe misinai. Says Gemara, onashim mechtav tivi. It says in the Torah, chayav mitah, chayav this. Ela hachi kamar. Shiurim shel onashim halacha l'Moshe misinai. How much you have to eat to be chayav and onish is the halacha l'Moshe misinai. Look in Rashi. Hachi gartzinan. Onashim mechtav ktivi. Ela hachi kamar. Shiurim shel onashim. Shiure onashim. Shal yadan hu anush. How much you have to eat to get punished? Halacha l'Moshe misinai be'ezeh shiuru anush.
Where is that written in the Torah? Any idea?
What?
The shiur.
It's not.
It's not written.
That's why he says halacha l'Moshe misinai.
Okay.
Tanya nami hachi. Shiurin shel onashim. The shiurim of the onashim halacha l'Moshe misinai. Achirim omrim. Others say Bedino shel Ya'abetz teknum. The Bedin of Ya'abetz instituted the shiurim. Look at Rashi. Otniel ben Kenaz. Yes.
He was the first shofet, no?
I think it was the first, but he was early.
He was the first, no? He was first.
Maybe. Says Gemara. V'haketiv.
He was Kalev's
Son-in-law.
I think so, no?
Married Achsa, his daughter.
Right.
V'haketiv. Ela mitzvot. She'en avi rashay lechadesh davar me'ata. How could Betino of Ya'abetz make it? It says Ela mitzvot. These are Ela mitzvot is at the end of Sefer Vayikra. Ela mitzvot. These are the mitzvot, nothing else. You can't add anything else. She'en navi rashay lechadesh davar me'ata. Eli, you have to say shechachum ve'chazru v'yisadum. They forgot him and he brought him back.
have to make sure he does it. But what does he get? 0. So that's why he cannot be Motzi.
Okay, that's Pashut, no Rashi.
Well, what did they forget? They forgot the halachah l'mashim
They forgot the shiurim. They forgot the shiurim.
That's why I'm saying.
And what? And the halachah l'mashim sinai is add the one. It's not halachah l'mashim sinai.
It was. They forgot him, and then he was mipalpel and he found it back, and then they realized, yeah, that's what we need.
But not all the halachah l'mashim sinai were written in the Torah. None of them were.
None of them are. It's not written in the Torah. He was mipalpel. He had kavahomers, whatever, and he found it. He figured it out.
The Gemara says the lady could be Motzi.
Amar Rabbi Yehuda Mashmul.
Could be Motzi if she's a Rabbanan.
Lo milo lugmav. So we say hashotem eating. We said is a kotevet. Azabaru. Shotem. Hashotem lo lugmav. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Mashmul. Lo milo lugmav mamash. Milo lugmav would be mashma 2 full cheeks. Right? Lugmav is 2. So 2 full cheeks. Lo milo lugmav mamash. El kol sheilu yisalekenu. Litzad echad. If you push it to one side, v'yir'ekim lo lugmav, and it looks like your cheeks are full.
You push it aside and you hold. What? Say that again.
Sounds 2. Sounds 2.
That's a problem.
Sounds like 2.
Somebody that's not Yosef.
Right. V'ha'anan tenan milo lugmav. We learned it says a full cheeks. Ema kim lo lugmav, like full cheeks. I say if I push it to one side, it looks like one side is full.
כששם בצד אחד, it looks like a full side.
When you put it on one side, it looks like a full side. Meiti, I'll ask you a question. Kama yishteh v'yeh chayav. How much should you drink and you chayav? Bet Shammai omrim revi'it. Bet Shammai says you drink a revi'it. Bet Hillel omrim milo lugmav. Full cheeks. Rabbi Yehuda omer mishum Rabbi Eliezer kim lo lugmav. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera omer kedei gimi'ah, swallow full. Mi adifa mi matnit. So the problem is Bet Hillel says milo lugmav mamash, not kim lo lugmav. So mi adifa mi matnit in the ikumna kedei shireh. It should look like it's a milo lugmav. So to over here, that it should look like a milo lugmav. Hachinami kedei shireh. Yeah, bro, here you have a problem. Hachi hainu Rabbi Eliezer, because if it says kim lo lugmav. Ika benayim milo lugmav dahuk. Which is Rashi. Ika benayim kim lo lugmav dahuk. Lebet Hillel. Ba'inan kedei sheyisal kenu l'tzad echad. V'yir'eh kim lo lugmav berevach. It should look like it's really full. Rabbi Eliezer kim lo lugmav dahuk. A little bit less full. Hard to understand exactly. More or less.
Completely full cheek, like your mouth is not stuffed.
Everybody's cheeks is so different, you know. The guys with more cheeks, less cheeks. You have good cheeks? Did they like the pinchy cheeks when you were a kid?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
You don't remember. Matkif la Rabbi Hoshaya. Imken. So if you're learning, if Bishlam, if you hold the Bet Hillel holds, you need 2 cheeks. 2 cheeks is more than the Revi'it. So then Bet Hillel is more mekel than Bet Shammai. Why? Now you're thinking how much you have to drink for kiddush. If you have to drink for kiddush, then it's a chumrah. But if you say that you're talking about how much you eat to be chayav, so if you have more, it's a kula. Meaning a guy drinks it if he eat. According to Bet Hillel, he won't be chayav. According to Bet Shammai, he is chayav. So comes out if it's a mlo lugmav, Bet Hillel is mekel, which fits the pattern. But if it's a kimlo lugmav, 1 cheek, which is less than an avid, so Bet Hillel is mahmir.
So it can be.
Let's go.
It can be or
No, imken havale mikule Bet Shammai mechumre Bet Hillel. These things that Bet Hillel is mekel is mahmir, and it should have been listed in Adayot where they list all of them. Look in Rashi. Imken. Bet Hillel mechayve b'chdeshi salekenu. Havale batzir mervi'it. It comes out that it's less than a revi'it. Rav Bet Shammai v'litnim b'masechet Adayot gabe kule Bet Shammai shekulan sheniyot sham. Says Gemara, ki itchil be'og melech habashan itchil. Says the question that was asked in the Beit HaMidrash was how much does Og melech habashan have to drink? Everybody knew that the shiur for a regular person is kimlo lugmav, right? Question is Og melech habashan. Dahavu luhu Bet Shammai lechumra. So Bet Shammai is mahmir because Og melech habashan's kimlo lugmav is more than a revi'it.
It's a whole bottle, a whole gallon maybe.
You're making faces.
But we're going to tell you, Melul Gmav of Og Melech HaBasham, a normal person.
Even a normal person too. Bet Shammai agreed by a normal person because it's less, and Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel agree by a normal person. Kim lo lugmav. What happened by Og Melech HaBasham? Bet Shammai says, listen, once you hit it, if you eat, I don't care. And Bet Hillel says, no, every person, it's his lo lugmav.
So it goes by the person.
Right. It was a theoretical question. In the Beit Midrash, they said, how much you chayav? Lo lugmav. Okay. Somebody said, well, let's say he's a big guy. Let's say he's Og Melech HaBasham.
And it's more than a Rebbe.
It's more if you eat. So Bet Shammai says, if you eat, more than if you eat doesn't make sense. But let us know. Everybody going to him. Rashi. Ki etshil b'midrasha hach dil el kama yishte v'yeh hayav le'inyan Og Melech HaBasham. Klomar le'inyan adam ka'anakim etshil. V'hava le'Beit Shammai le'chumra de'mechayve b'rvi'it. Kazayit. Okay, so this is Gemara Matkif. Let it be said. Ma'ishna achila. Why is achila different? They call chad v'chad b'kakotevet. Everybody is a kotevet, even Og Melech HaBasham. U'ma'ishna shtiya. They call chad v'chad b'dideh. Each person only according to his body.
Good question.
Amar le Abaye. So Abaye said, Kim lehu l'Rabbanan. The Chachamim had understood the b'kakotevet, b'kakotevet, the b'hachim yat v'da'ateh. That's the amount that gives you some satisfaction. But tzir mehachi, less than that, like when you're on a diet and they tell you to eat those ridiculous sized portions, lo miyatva. It doesn't satisfy. You feel like it's worse. It's better that I didn't eat.
So they were able to figure out what satisfies a person by achila, but not by shtia.
Right. No, wait. No, they figured it out. B'shtiyah, B'shtiyah, b'dideh miyat v'da'ateh. By shtiyah, it has to be based on your mouth. B'dehavrei, your friends b'lo lugmav, lo miyat v'da'ateh. It won't satisfy you. So they answered.
Same thing by a person with achila. It's a big guy, he won't get satisfied.
You and Rabbi Zerah. Ma'atkif la Rabbi Zerah. V'chol ha'olam kulo b'kakotevet v'od Melech HaBasham b'kakotevet.
Right.
So what Amalei Abaye, kim lehu l'Rabbanan, the Chachamim understood, tebehachi miyat v'da'ateh. That amount makes a person, gives him a sort of nahat ruach. Batzir mehachi lo miyat. Less than that, no. Sounds like the same answer. Miu, kule al matuva. Everybody is very happy with it. The Og Melech HaBasham purta, he's a little bit happy, but at least it's enough to give you something. Matkif la Rabbi Zera. How could you say that if you're walking out Yat V'daite? He says, Bashtar Shamim b'kakotevet, v'lulaveh gefanim b'kakotevet. One guy's eating filet mignon, a kakotevet, and he's happy. The other guy's eating not the yabra leaves and the stems. You think they're both happy? Amalei Abaye, yeah. Kim lehu l'Rabbanan, tebechachi miyat v'da'ateh. You get calm. Batzir mehachi lo miyat v'da'ateh. Miyu basar shamen tuva. You eat basar shamen, you're very happy. Ulaveh gefanim, purta. You're a little bit happy. Except for Ronnie. Ronnie's very happy with Lulav Gifani. As long as it's breakfast. Okay. Rashi. No, it's not even here. Okay. That didn't need explanation. Matkif la Rava. Rava asks the question.
Wait, so what do we come out? We come out that what?
That a kakotevet
makes people happy.
Is right. More or less.
More or less, right?
And B'lo lugmav, only your
Depends on the person.
Depends on the person. Matkif la Rava.
But the question was stronger than the answer. I mean, the question still stands. I mean, what? How do
you don't like the answer.
Yeah, how does it answer? You didn't answer the question.
Kim lehu l'Rabbanan.
Right, I'm just saying it's. The question was, you have different sized people. The answer is, they're both happy.
Drinking goes by the person. Eating, everybody gets some amount of satisfaction.
And by drinking, you don't get satisfaction unless you do Milo Ligmav?
Today, when you walk back into the office, line everybody up and
survey
and check.
Right.
You need some very big people.
Yes.
Okay. Amar le Abaye. Amar Rava. So Rava said, "Kazai b'chdei achila pras, v'kotevet b'chdei achila pras. Harei hakotevet is much bigger than kazai, and yet both of them the shiur is they have to eat them in a k'dei achila pras. If it's normal to eat a kazait in a k'dei achila pras, so maybe a kakotevet should have a bigger shiur." Rashi, kazai b'chdei achila pras. Kim lan, we hold, b'kol otan isurim, every isur, sheshiuram b'kazai, chelev or whatever, shemsha'a ben tchilat achilat ha-shiur, l'gmar achilato, yoter mikdei achila pras, more than a kdei achila pras. He's writing down to take the survey. En mitztaref, ad shiochal kol ha-shiur betoch kedei shiyat seudah. He has to finish the whole shiur in the amount of time it takes to finish your meal. V'hi achilat chatzi kikar, which is eating half of a loaf, sheshiuro bo ta'eruv, half of the loaf of the eruv. The eruv is 2 seudot. Half of that loaf is a pras, right? Half a loaf. Shumazon bet seudot, the amount that it takes to eat which is 2 meals. Kedetnan chetzia lebet hamenuga. Shetala katuv shiato letameh begadim keshiur achila. And kakoteve b'chdei achila pras b'tmiah. Yoma Kippurim sheshiur achilatohi b'kakotevet. Afhu shiuro, the shiur that you have to, the amount of time you have to eat it in is tzirif u'chalato b'chdei achila pras. V'imshai yotem mikan. If you waited longer than that, emet tzaref u'patur. V'akivan de shiuro gadol, since it's a much bigger amount than a kazait. By shehi atafet, she need longer time to wait. L'tziruf achilato. V'hashta kula. Now it's a kula. That comes out to be a kula. The patrile. You're gonna. They got really. Let's say a kakotevet, for argument's sake, is double the size of a kazai. So if a kdei achila pras is 4 minutes, you should give the guy 8 minutes to finish his kakotevet on the same ratio as kazai. And it's coming out of kula because after the 4 minutes, if he eats it in 4.5 minutes, you tell him he's patur. Amar le'abaye. Kim lehu l'rabanan. The rabbis had a tradition. The behachi miyat v'da'ateh. With a kakotevet, a person is satisfied. Betve mehachi lo miyat v'da'ateh. Rashi. Betve mehachim sheha yoter mikan. If we waited longer than kedei achila pras, lo miyat v'da'ateh. Yoma Kippurim b'yishuv adat al yamilta. Depends on yishuv adat. Dichtiv asher lo te'uneh. Ma'at kif larava. Rabbi asked another question. Kakotev. What's this? Kazait b'chdei achilat pras. Chatzi pras b'chdei achilat pras. Kazait is a chdei achilat pras. Chatzi pras b'chdei achilat pras. Chatzi pras is how much you have to eat in order that your body becomes tameh. Meaning when you eat food that's tameh, you become tameh. But not if you eat a kazai, not if you eat a kabetzai, you have to eat a chatzi pras, 2 bitzim, right? 2 or 1.5, depending if you hold like the Rambam or Rashi, right? And that's also b'chdei achila pras. For sure, they should have given you more time when it comes to that. That's not talu in yituv da'ateh. Look in Rashi. Chatzi pras shi'uro lefsolat gviyah, that makes you tameh. Le'ochel ochlim temein, chatzi pras nefsal gufo. You eat tameh food, half a pras, your body becomes tameh. Dawami le'echol betruma. You can't eat truma. Chatzi pras shi'ur gadol, it's much more. Keshte betzim sohakot, kedamrina be'eruvin, ve'af be'em mashvinan shehiyat zirufo b'chdei achila pras. Ve'tulo, not more than that. Given the shi'ur harabahu, since it's a big shi'ur betfei mehachi l'tzaref, let it combine bigger. Amal Rav Papa, so Rav Papa told Rava, Hanach letumat geviyah delav deoraitahi. Leave tumat aguf, that the body becomes tameh from food. It's not a deoraita, so the Chachamim instituted it, but they will make it. Umi Amar Rav Papa hachi that tumat geviyah is not deoraita. V'haketiv v'lo tetameu bahem v'nitmetem bam. Don't be metameh yourself with tameh foods, and you'll become tameh. V'amar of Papa mikan shetumat giviyah deoraita. You see over here that when a person eats, he becomes tameh from the Torah. So Gemara, he didn't mean that. Midrabanan. V'kras machta be'alma. Yani midoraita means there's an asmachta to this gezerah that the Chachamim made. Rashi. Letumat. ולא תטמאו בהם גם באכילה כתיב אל תשקצו את נפשותיכם תהיינו אכילה ולא תטמאו בהם לא זוהי אזהרת טומאה. It's not telling you not to become tameh. She'en en yisem muzarim militameh. Bnei Yisrael are not commanded not to become tameh. Dechtiv emor al kohanim muzarim ven yisem muzarim el azarat achilatan. It's saying don't become tameh by eating them. Dechtiv v'nitmetem bam. Mashma she'al yedei achilatam tetamau. Mikan letumat gviyal yedei achlin. The fact that your body becomes tamei through eating tumah temein deoraita. We answer midrabanan. Dekra lav letuma ata. It's not talking about tumah. She'en lecha davar metamei adam al yedei achila. There is no tumah deoraita through eating ela nevelat of tahor. Ela asmachta be'alma. V'ikar kera. The main pasuk tarshinan. בפרק אמר להם הממונה, we would dorish before, אדם מטמא עצמו מעט. When a person is מטמא himself a little, מטמאים אותו הרבה. From Shamayim they help him become טמא. כל האוכלים מצטרפים לשיעור. אמר רב פאפא, אכל אומצה, if he ate meat, or raw meat, ומלחה with salt on it, מצטרף. The salt is מצטרף. Even
How much
though...
is salt adding already?
What?
How much could it add? It absorbs.
A little bit.
It absorbs though. Not even a little bit. You can't even make a shiur. No, it goes
absorbs?
in. And it melts in. No, it
This
stays
one
on top.
Yeah, this one did.
I'm comfortable, I'm sitting and learning Torah.
They wash it off after. That's all. Big kernels don't. That's what the halakha says when you make mechlicha. But if you can't use small salt because it gets, like you said, like it gets absorbed, it melts into the paste on top. And you can't use very big flakes because they'll fall off. You have to use kosher salt flakes. That's why it's kosher salt. That size
really?
of kosher salt is the right size for kosher.
So kosher is because of size?
That's the original term, yeah.
Wow.
Right? It's also because it's pure salt and they don't add iodine. Table salt, they add iodine.
Really?
If you look at the regulars, it says iodized salt.
What's the difference?
Iodine is a mineral that people become deficient in, so they like made a takana. You should put it in the salt. But the cooks, it's not pure. It's
not organic.
Ask Yehuda, he'll give you around 2 hours of information on that. So he says,
You want to know how he knows it?
he watches Cooking Channel.
Right.
Okay, that's not a question how he knows that.
Right.
Right, so he says, "Ochal umtza umilcha mitzaref." Avgav delav achilahi. Even though eating salt is not eating, kiven the achli inshi mitzarfim. Since they eat it together, it's a combination. Rashi umtza umilcha she'aleh. Okay. Amar Resh Lakish. Resh Lakish says, "Tzir she'al gabei yerek." The juice on top of the vegetables mitzaref lekakoteve b'yom kippurim. It combines for a kotevet. Pshita, why not? It's not like salt, it's better than the salt. Why may say, hey, that's a drink? And eating and drinking is not mitzaref. Kamash malan kol ochshure uchla. Anything that's there to make the food better, uchlahu. Rashi, mashkeh bale mateket ha'ochel, ochlahu. Gravy makes it much better. Amar Resh Lakish.
Why don't we say that it's part of it? It's actually coming out from it. But why do we have to go?
What's the difference? If you drink orange juice, now you're chayav for eating because it came out of the orange.
No, when it's separated from the orange, but once it's part of the orange.
How about if this came out?
If it's still on top, it's still part of it. It's not like I took it off and put it back. If I took it off and put it back, then I understand.
So he's not agreeing with
Right, he's not going that side.
He's saying it's only if it's what? So if you left the oranges in, it's mitzaref?
Yeah.
No, so I don't think so. It's a drink already. It's only if it has a reason to be part of the what's it called. You're trying to say nice but that makes much more sense.
If I have oranges inside its own juice, I have to make sure I call. All right, it's great. I didn't take it out. I didn't separate it. I'm drinking it mamash from the what's it called?
It's separate.
Yeah? Why? Because once it enters your mouth, it's already separate.
There's a question if you suck straight from the item, but if you squeeze it out outside.
You didn't squeeze it out. It's there. It's like
now
you can't leave it there and automatically pours out.
Keep changing.
Can you leave it there and the juice comes out? Or
sometimes it happens.
So in that case, like watermelon probably happens.
The watermelon, a lot of times, I'm trying to eat, so it's like tafel to the watermelon. But that's the same idea. I'm really eating. This is just tafel to it.
Right.
But if it's not like that, if I want to drink it, maybe not. In that case, it's because of ikar and tafel. But if it's a juice, it's all beracha. Amar Resh Lakish. Ha'ochel achila gasa. If somebody was a wise guy, they will bring a proof from here against you. But it's also possible, Zu, that the tzir is not the tzir of the what's it called. It's like it's a meat gravy that's on top of the vegetables. Nice,
Oh, so you have an outside. So that's what it's talking about. That's what
maybe. You could argue such a thing. It's not the tzir of the vegetables. It's lousy stuff. Talking meat gravy on the
Ketchup and
vegetables.
French fries.
meat gravy. Then why would I have the original
French
Havamina?
fries.
What's Havamina? Of course it's separate. Brought it in. Why would I think it's not mistarif? Of course it's
Because
mistarif.
it's a liquid.
So that's the question.
Amar Rish Lakish, Ha'ochel achila gasa biyom. You can tell he came back from Israel. He's double sharp. Ha'ochel achila
Boost you
gasa.
over there. It's like a juice pack.
Ha'ochel achila gasa biyom kippurim. If somebody eats achila gasa on Kippur, meaning he's already stuffed and he's stuffing himself more, patur. My ta'ama, asher le'te'uneh ketiv prat lemazik. What's this mazik? Rashi. Achila gasa. She'achal lele yom kippurim ala sava. He ate Leil Kippur. He was full. He stuffed himself by Yosudam Afseket, and then he ate more. Shaya Savea Misudav Shezigba. B'kol ma she'achal mishechashecha achila gasaita was all disgusting to him. Shelo lahana. He didn't enjoy it. Prat lemazik. Lazeh she'eno mevatel mimenu shum inui. He's not taking away any inui al yedei achila. Ela mazik hu et ha'ochlim ve'et atzmo. He's wasting the food. Because it ain't doing anything for him. And he's hurting himself. It's not healthy to eat like that. Prat lemazik. Amar b'miyah, Amar Rish Lakish, same thing. Zar. It's a bigger chidush over here. If it would have said Asher tochal b'yom kippur, so you'll say this is not achila.
Right.
Lo te'oneh, not me'oneh, prat lemazik. This is mazik. Amar b'miyah, Amar Rish Lakish, Zar she'achal teruma achila gasa. Fezar eats teruma achila gasa, mishalem et hakeren, ve'enu mishalem et homesh. If you eat teruma, Zar eats teruma, he has to pay keren and homesh. But if he eats it achila gasa, it's not called eating, it's called mazik. He only pays keren. Ki yochal, prat lemazik. Rashi, Zar she'achal teruma b'shogeg, shechayevo hakatuv tashlumei keren ve'homesh, patur im achala ala sava. Why? Prat lemazik et teruma. If I burn the teruma, I don't pay homesh. So too here. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah, Amar Rabbi Yohanan. Zar shekoses seorim shel teruma. Fezar choose seorim of teruma. Meshalem et hakeren. Ve'enu meshalem et homesh. He pays keren. He doesn't pay homesh. Ki yochal when he eats prat lemazik. And this is not the derech achila. Rashi. Kol davar shu ochlo shelo kederech achilato. Kari le koses. Amar Rav Shizvi, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Zar shebala shezifin shel teruma. He swallowed prunes. Look at Rashi.
Prunes.
Now, does he mean dried or not? Probably dried. Right? He
He
swallowed it without chewing it.
Wait, he sucked it?
I don't think so. He
Swallow
swallowed it.
like a pill.
Zar shebala shezifin shel teruma veheki'an, and he spit him out. Ve'achalan acher, and the second guy ate it.
After he spit it out?
Yeah. He rinsed them.
That's just not good enough.
Like the cackle.
Rishon mishalem keren ve'homesh. Sheni eno ele mishalem ele deme etzim la rishon bilvad. Rashi rishon mishalem she'af hu derech achilatam. Swallowing is eating. Sheni mishalem deme etzim la rishon. שהרי כנען הראשון ונתחייב בתשלומיהם והן אין הראויות עוד אלא להצקה. That's not food anymore. ברוך ה' לעולם. אמן ואמן.